Hi guys, my name is Lebo. I talk about life, relationships, and spirituality, things that we need to unpack in order for us to go back to our authentic selves. So I just want to talk about this pandemic. I call it a pandemic because I think our eyes need to be opened and we need to actually see what is happening. So I'm going to first start talking about challenges that we are being asked to do as women. You would have noticed um, that these challenges are asking us to strip naked. The challenges are asking us to take off our clothes, or they are asking us to do them, you know, with our clothes on. But if we do them with our clothes on, we'll either be twerking, we'll either be doing splits, we'll either be doing something that compels us to take off our clothes. I'm talking about the Get Ready With Me challenge where we are just taking off our clothes and, appearing online with our bra and our panties, and ordinarily, if we hadn't seen these challenges on social media, you wouldn't just wake up one day and decide to strip naked and invite people to come get ready with you and actually take people through the process of dressing from putting your bra and your panty on, and you're just inviting an audience to watch you dress. Ordinarily that wouldn't happen, but because of social media now, it has become normalized for us to just come appear online and undress or dress in front of strangers, right? And when we do that, depending on how we look, depending on how our bodies look, those videos can be shared with multiple people who maybe will enjoy watching us dress or undress, depending of course on what people are looking for. And now the issue is this: when we start doing these challenges where we are undressing for people we don't know, twerking for people we don't know, stripping naked for people we don't know, the audience that is watching our videos are not seeing what we think they are seeing, or are not seeing what we would like them to see. What the audience is seeing when we do this, especially men, and I know some women are going to say, we don't care what men think, which is fine. But the men who are watching your videos, and by men I mean these are your uncles, these are your fathers, these are your sons, these are your colleagues, your male colleagues who work with you, and your neighbors, are watching you undress. Because remember, when you take a video and you put it out there, everyone is going to have access to it. But something in our mind doesn't, cause us, or something in our minds doesn't make us realize that the video is going to be watched by everyone, including your neighbors and people you work with, right? But let me not digress. So when you undress for everyone, you are twerking, you are showing people your vjj, your cookie, because now we're doing that other thing where when we put on our tights, we want to show people our camel toe. And it's also very strange to me, or why would you want to show men your camel toe? Because it's very suggestive, and it makes people want to explore you further, because when now wants how your cookie is shaped and you are showing them the size of your cookie. So when you are taking a video showing people the size of your cookie, what do you want them to do? O batla ba o kgalle, or ho etsahalang? Because that's also another trend of women showing men their cookies via this imprint, this camel toe, or you are either wearing these tights tsa ka mo morao that show a very firm round butt. That's almost also to say, I've got a beautiful bum, but we don't really know why you would want people to know or see that you have a big butt, right? And I'm just talking about these things, and I seem to be all over the place, but I'm just trying to talk about them because I think they are happening because they are influenced by what we watch and what we see and what we listen to. R&B songs, hip hop songs, where women are just looking sexy and hot and all of this to promote whatever it is that they are trying to promote. But when we Black women participate more and more, on these challenges, these men don't see us the way we see ourselves. All they see is women who are looking for attention, women who are advertising themselves to get men, women who have lost their dignity and are resorting to undressing because they are looking for attention from men, because without undressing, then it would essentially mean that you can't get attention without taking off your clothes. But when you take off your clothes, it seems as if that's the only way for you to get attention from men. And that's why some of these men will actually fight and say, but apart from your cookie, what do you bring to the table? Because there's so much messaging around nudity that it seems to be the only thing that looks like that's what women have to bring to the table, or that's what women have to offer. And because society now has become so fixated with nudity, taking off our clothes, wearing next to nothing. I mean, you look at us everywhere. We are not dressing up because it's starting to seem like it is something that is normal. But in the South African context, or in the African context, our men are still very conservative. They have not acclimatized to the nudity that they see. And before, it used to be exciting to maybe see a bump here, a boob there, uh, you know, a panty here or there. But now there's nothing left to the imagination anymore. And because of that, men don't respect women anymore, especially South African men. Because South African men also pride themselves in conservative women and having a conservative woman. And that's why when they marry, they will never marry slave queens, because they want women who are conservative. They don't want women who have been seen by other men. They don't want women whose bodies have been exposed to other men, because they are very conservative. They are very conservative in nature, and they feel they should be the only ones who have the ability to see their woman undressed. But if you are someone's wife, or you are someone's woman, and you are coming online to strip naked, for them they feel like you are showing their assets to the world, and therefore they can't take you seriously. That's why when they approach you, these men who see your pictures online, they will only ever approach you to have sex with you, but they will never approach you to wife you, because they are still very conservative in nature. So what then essentially happens is, because South African men are not buying into what South African women are doing in terms of stripping online, showing off their bodies and doing these challenges, they end up not wanting to date them. So then the more these women resort to stripping naked, the more these women resort to nudity. I mean, the things that we're seeing are just they're so hectic. So the more women resort to those kind of antics, the more men reject them and actually use them and discard them, because they're not looking for women who look like they are easy. Because when you put your image out like that, you look like you are easy, even though you may not be easy. But remember, you're just doing it because that's what's happening right now. So, because South African men are not taking these women seriously, then you get foreign nationals coming into the country and identifying a gap. And when they identify this gap, for them, it's much easier to go for the woman whom South African men are rejecting, because they know what these women want in terms of financial stability and wanting men who are protectors. And these foreign nationals or foreign men come into the country selling an idea that they can look after these women because their own men are failing them, right? They also sell themselves off as men who are okay with the nudity that women are displaying online. They sell themselves off as men who are actually okay, and they understand that women need to do whatever they want with their bodies, because women have the right to do whatever it is that they want with their bodies, hence the my body, my rules type of situation. So they take in these women and they date them. But now the problem then comes where, because these women think these men love them for themselves, they end up marrying them in their country, right? And that's how some of these men are able to get citizenship in the country, through these women who thought these men loved them for themselves. However, when these men come into the country, they come having left their wives in their home countries, right? And they would have left their conservative wives in their home countries, because their wives in their countries would never strip naked on social media. No, they wouldn't. So they leave their conservative wives, and then they come in and date South African women and pretend to love South African women, only because they need to benefit from them. And the benefit for foreign men to date South African women would be to get citizenship, but to also be able to get a place to stay, or to be able to find a way around the country, because it's not easy, especially when you don't have citizenship in the country. So South African women end up rejecting South African men, because South African men do not understand Hore. they need to be who they are in terms of how they dress, how they look, and how they appear. So they then date foreign men because they feel already these men love them for who they are. And then once they have married Banaba, maybe they married Nigerians, for example, these women will now start talking bad about South African men because they feel these men are much more better than South African men. They look after them financially, they do all of these things. But because some of these men came into the country illegally, it essentially also means that these men are making their money illegally. And that's why they can afford, to give these women the cash allowance, somebody 50K, buy them Gucci bags, buy them expensive brands, clothes, give them money because they make their money illegally. But because these women have not realized, Hore, the money is being made illegally, some are very much aware, but because Babata lifestyle and to be accepted by these men for who they are, they end up just dating them knowing this. Right? They end up dating them knowing this because for them it's about acceptance, and for them it's about having the ability to do whatever they want. Right. And once these men get the citizenship, they discard them. Or they may actually even involve these women in illegal activities because now money must flow in, and the access to the country is this woman who they have access to, who can then introduce them to other contacts and other people within the country. And that's how they actually now start moving money around. But ultimately, the goal of these challenges and us being asked to strip naked and all of this, it's just to demean our character. It's to demean us and to make us look as if we have nothing to offer except our bodies. And when you get other men coming into the country and weakening South African men based on their South African women who are also rejecting them, you are going to see how matla a country ya rona are going to now be transferred to other countries. For example, if you're a woman and a Nigerian man comes and wants to marry you, for example, ke wena now who's going to go ulo hodisa motse wa habo monna o in another country. You're not going to do it in your country. O tlo tlameha hore o ye ko country ya hae ho lo hodisa motse wa mole. And a part of you now is setse shared with mutomong from another country, right? And then essentially now wahudisa motse mole, and wena o tlwetse wa ko heno wa mo South Africa because South African men didn't understand you. So the challenges are definitely there to cause us to lose a part of ourselves, because if you are there online and you are naked, your body is seen by everyone, and it's your body, your rules, that's exactly how people are going to see you. And you must try and not be influenced by influencers who are doing these challenges because they are getting paid. We know that Cindy Mahlatini, for example, was trending. I think Video Yahai had more than 1 million views when she was doing the challenge. And shortly thereafter, she put up a poster of her pricing. And it was evident Urwa Regisa. So when she was twerking and she was doing all of these challenges, she was actually promoting her business, which is to sell. And through what she sold, she probably got potential customers. In fact, I think she did get potential customers who wanted to buy because they liked the advert. Most people who twerk like that, who perform like that, are doing it for money. It's a business for them. But for you and me who are not in business, for you and me who are trying to get jobs, for you and me who are trying to build a reputation for ourselves, for you and me who have children who may potentially see these videos, it's not going to be easy for you to just go there and twerk for no reason at all. There's no reason that you would want to just go out there and say, yes, it's a challenge, it's a ceiling challenge, I'm now going to twerk for likes and shares, and you're not making money out of it. So the ones who are doing this are doing it for money. Live Faith in Kids at some point was not twerking for free. She used to go to clubs and perform. She was called Queen Twerk. They were going to perform and they used to twerk for money. They used to twerk to get money. So I'm not promoting women, and I'm not asking women to go and twerk for money. I'm saying when you do these things, you must be strategic, because for some people, they are not going to be showing their asses for nothing. Some people are twerking online for money because now they see gore marago wa bona ke business. And when you are just twerking there for free, because if you go to strip clubs, women are also twerking in strip clubs for money. They're twerking for money. They're not just stripping naked. Both Beyonce, when they are showing us their bums and they are twerking and they are doing splits, they get paid for it. Cardi B gets paid for twerking. And all the other artists, keep in mind, you can name them. These famous artists who are twerking, who are splitting, who are showing their coochies, those people are getting paid for it. And they don't have to worry about losing their dignity because they have their money, which helps them to buy things that they need to buy. And some of them are married. Beyonce is married. Cardi B was married and I think she's now divorced. Faith was also married. She's now divorced. But if you can count all the women who are doing these challenges and all of these things, some of them are in stable relationships. But if you are trying to get into a stable relationship, you haven't met the love of your life, and your body is out there for everyone to see, it's going to be very difficult for you to attract the right partner, because the first thing people are going to think is that you're cheap, is that you're selling, is that you don't love yourself, is that you're not looking after your body, because people are still very conservative when it comes to nudity. if if there were no concerns about nudity and people understood, oh no, this is the life that we're living, most of us, we would have probably been married by now. We would have probably had our houses by now. you know I mean, when I used to sell clothes, I used to put my image out there. I used to put my clothes out there because I was selling and I was a model. But I promise you, no man has ever respected me. In fact, when they used to text me, it would mostly be to try to get lucky. Even if I will explain, oh no, I'm intelligent, I'm this, they didn't care about my intelligence, they didn't care about my mind, because all they were seeing was a package that I was putting in front of them. And yes, women would buy the clothes because the clothes were very sexy, they were beautiful, they were gorgeous. And us women, when we dress up, we want to look beautiful and confident and amazing. But that's not what men see in us when we wear certain clothes. They don't think we look classy, they don't think we look presentable, and you could essentially be attracting wrong men for the longest time, because all they are seeing is a woman who is selling based on what you are wearing. And it's so unfortunate that that is the mentality and the thinking around how we dress, but that's how it is. And that's why even these celebrities and influencers who wear these beautiful sexy hot clothes and they make them look so amazing, all of them are not married, all of them are not in stable relationships, all of them are struggling because men, African men, are extremely conservative. The only men who are comfortable with dating South African women in that sense are foreign men who come into the country for their own things, for their own benefits, and that's how they take advantage. And now these women live on Ababoni, and these women can't even show these men off, because now other women will see how bad Kanti we are rotating the same kind of men or the same type of men. So for us, we have to really sit and have a deep, honest conversation about what these challenges are doing to us in terms of our image, what these challenges are doing to us, for us, in terms of how we should present ourselves, because ultimately all I'm seeing is that our image will always make a statement. So it's something to think about. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I know that I put in a lot of information in one video, but I'm hoping that it can give you some sort of clarity about how you need to move forward. Otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in onto this episode. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get reminders, when I post my next video. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.